How many times have you tossed out that tired old line, "Hi, how are you?" in a crowded room, only to watch the spark of potential connection fizzle out like a damp firework? Imagine the scene. Eyes glazing over. Polite nods exchange. And then, nothing. Just another fleeting exchange lost in the noise of everyday life. But what if I told you that with just a few carefully chosen words, you could transform those mundane moments into magnetic encounters that pull people in, leaving them craving more of your presence? You've probably felt it yourself. The frustration of small talk that goes nowhere. The boredom of predictable chit-chat that feels as bland as unsalted popcorn. Yet, deep down, we all yearn for something real. Something that pierces through the surface and touches the soul. That's exactly what we're diving into today. In this video, we'll unpack 4 simple yet profoundly powerful words. Words rooted in ancient Stoic wisdom. Backed by cutting-edge psychology and neuroscience that can awaken emotions, dissolve barriers, and make others feel irresistibly drawn to you. These aren't gimmicks or clever hacks. They're timeless instruments for building genuine bonds that linger long after the conversation ends. And here's the best part. Stick around until the very end, because I'll reveal a game-changing alternative to that overused, "Hi, how are you?" A phrase so fresh and invigorating. It's like a cool breeze on a sweltering day, instantly shifting the vibe and opening doors you didn't even know were there. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. It could be the key to elevating your interactions from forgettable to unforgettable. Before we jump in, if you're ready to level up your mental game and unlock more insights like this, hit that subscribe button on the Mental Dose channel right now. And don't forget to join our vibrant Telegram community. It's your gateway to early video access, exclusive tips on personal growth, and a supportive space for spiritual exploration. Alright, let's roll up our sleeves and get into it. First up, word 1. Understand. At its core, the phrase, "I understand you," revolves around this deceptively simple word. But oh, what a powerhouse it is in action. Picture this. Someone pours out their heart, sharing a vulnerability or a challenge, and instead of jumping in with advice or dismissal, you meet them with those 3 little words. It's like wrapping them in a warm blanket on a chilly night, offering the rare gift of being truly seen and validated in a world that often feels isolating. Modern psychology underscores just how vital this is. Studies reveal that the human need to feel understood ranks right up there with basics like safety and belonging. It's wired into our very DNA. When you utter, "I understand you," it's not just lip service, it's a signal that resonates deep in the brain. Think about the research on affect labeling, by naming and acknowledging emotions, whether yours or someone else's. You dial down the amygdala's frantic alarm bells, the part of the brain that screams, "danger," in stressful moments. In its place, the prefrontal cortex lights up, fostering empathy, self-regulation, and a sense of calm clarity. Isn't it fascinating how a single phrase can rewire the emotional landscape, turning tension into tranquility? This magnetic pull? It's because understanding breeds relief. And relief is downright addictive. People gravitate toward those who can quiet the inner storm, replacing chaos with a soothing sense of peace. The ancient Stoics nailed this centuries ago, viewing understanding as the pinnacle of mental discipline. Epictetus, that wise old philosopher, cautioned against hasty words. First learn the meaning of what you say, and then speak. It's about taming the ego, choosing clarity over knee-jerk reactions born from pride. In everyday scenarios, maybe during a heated argument, a moment of shared pain, or even a flicker of insecurity, try locking eyes with someone and delivering it deliberately. "I understand you." Let a beat of silence follow, like a pause in a symphony that amplifies the melody. That quiet space speaks volumes, whispering, "You're safe here, no need to battle for your voice." And when defenses drop, true attachment forms. People stick around because you've made them feel heard without the fight. Now, shifting gears to word 2. Sense. This gem shines in the phrase, "That makes sense to me," where it conveys a depth of listening that's anything but superficial. Imagine you're in a discussion, and the other person lays out their thoughts, perhaps a quirky perspective or a personal rationale that doesn't perfectly align with yours. Instead of nodding absent-mindedly or countering right away, you respond with this, acknowledging their logic, respecting the mental journey they've shared. It's like holding up a mirror to their mind, reflecting back validation without demanding agreement. Psychologists call this emotional mirroring, a technique that builds bridges by confirming that their words have truly landed. Unlike a hollow, yeah, sure, saying, that makes sense, signals you've not only heard but processed and honored their reasoning. Dive into social psychology's shared reality theory, and it all clicks. We bond most deeply with those who affirm our view of the world, creating a sense of unity that's hard to resist. When those words leave your lips, the listener's brain lights up with recognition. It's an interpretation of mutual understanding that fosters closeness, making interactions feel collaborative rather than combative. Why does this work so magically? Because in a sea of misunderstandings and rushed judgments, offering sense stands out like a beacon. It turns potential conflicts into opportunities for connection, showing empathy without surrender. The Stoics would approve, as it embodies their call for rational discourse over emotional reactivity. In practice, weave it into your daily exchanges, perhaps when a friend explains a tough decision or a colleague shares an idea. Deliver it with sincerity. That makes sense to me. Watch how it softens edges, invites more sharing, and subtly draws them closer, as if you've unlocked a hidden door to their trust. As we build on these foundations, remember, these words aren't about manipulation, they're about elevating your presence to create ripples of positive impact. We've covered understand and sense so far, each a building block for deeper, more resonant conversations, but there's more to come. 2 additional words that amplify this even further. Hang tight, because up next, we'll explore how they weave together with psychology and neuroscience to make you utterly irresistible in social settings. And don't forget that teaser from the start, that refreshing alternative to, "Hi, how are you?" is waiting at the end, ready to revolutionize your openings. If you're feeling inspired already, drop a like below and share in the comments. Have you ever used understand or sense in a conversation that changed everything? Let's keep the energy flowing as we continue this journey toward masterful communication. Building on the foundation of understand and sense, which help us validate emotions and respect logic, let's seamlessly dive deeper into how these principles evolve with our next words, turning everyday exchanges into profound connections. It is alignment, and that alignment, it naturally fosters closeness, like 2 puzzle pieces clicking into place after a moment of uncertainty. On a neurological level, this form of recognition lights up the brain's reward circuitry, sparking feelings of reciprocity that make interactions feel mutually rewarding and alive. It's almost as if the other person has poured their energy into sharing, opening up with vulnerability, and in return, you've honored that investment by giving it real value, creating a cycle of give and take that's hard to resist. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, made it a daily practice to remind himself, be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. Saying, that makes sense, embodies exactly that tolerance. It's a quiet act of self-discipline, reining in the knee-jerk urge to correct, dominate, or impose your own view, while instead broadcasting genuine respect for the other person's unique perspective. In practical terms, the true power of sense shines brightest when you make it specific, rather than tossing out a vague, offhand, that makes sense. Anchor it in details, like, that makes sense to me because I can see how you reached that decision based on what you've been through. This level of precision turns the phrase into a clear mirror, reflecting their thoughts back with such accuracy that it draws them in. And when someone glimpses their own ideas echoed in you, don't they unconsciously feel safer, more deeply connected, and even more attracted during those conversations, as if you've created a private sanctuary just for their words? This single word holds the remarkable ability to pivot potential conflicts toward collaboration, shifting the entire energy from tense opposition to harmonious partnership. In that newfound partnership, trust doesn't just sprout, it begins to flourish, rooting itself firmly in the soil of mutual understanding. Now, moving to word 3, right. At the core of, you're right, lies this potent word. One that taps directly into the universal human craving for validation. Isn't it true that every one of us, no matter how outwardly confident we appear, harbors a subtle, quiet longing to hear, "You are correct, you are truly seen, you are valued." Uttering, "You're right," isn't about relinquishing your own authority or waving a white flag, far from it. Instead, it's a masterful display of emotional intelligence, where you choose connection over conquest. Psychologists often highlight confirmation bias, our innate tendency to warm up to those who affirm our beliefs and viewpoints. So, when you validate someone with "right," you're not diminishing your influence, in fact, you're amplifying it, building a bridge that invites them closer. By aligning, even just for a fleeting moment, with their personal truth, you melt away defensiveness and swing open the doors to genuine connection. But here's where nuance matters. Timing and authenticity are crucial. If overused, the phrase can ring hollow, like an echo in an empty room. But when placed thoughtfully, it's utterly unforgettable, lingering in their mind long after. Picture this: a heated discussion brewing, tensions rising like steam from a kettle. Rather than fueling the fire, you pause, meet their gaze steadily, and say, "You're right about that." The impact hits immediately, their ego softens, the emotional heat in the room cools down, and the whole dynamic shifts toward calm. Stoic wisdom beautifully explains why this resonates so deeply. Seneca, the philosopher, penned these words: "It is the power of a great mind to acknowledge and embrace the truth, no matter where it comes from." Recognizing truth in others isn't a sign of weakness, it's a profound strength. One that prioritizes truth above ego. After all, the insecure cling desperately to winning every argument, but the wise understand the art of yielding at the right moments. In the realm of attraction, "right" conveys humility and a grounded presence. It signals that you're not out to dominate the space but to truly connect within it. And paradoxically, isn't it those who refuse to battle over every minor point who draw people in the most? They perceive in you not frailty, but a mature confidence, the kind that appreciates value in others without any fear of eclipsing your own. When delivered with real sincerity, "right" transcends mere validation, it becomes a form of liberation. It frees the other person from the exhausting burden of defending their stance, allowing them to relax into the moment. And when someone realizes they no longer have to guard themselves, they naturally lean in closer. Trust blossoms more profoundly, and your presence etches itself into their memory for the long haul. Finally, word 4. Listen. This last word, "listen," forms the beating heart of the phrase, "I'm listening." On the surface, it might seem straightforward, almost ordinary, but in reality, it's one of the scarcest and most magnetically compelling gifts you can extend to another. Our modern world buzzes with endless noise, distractions pulling us in every direction. We inhabit a culture where talking overshadows hearing, and conversations frequently devolve into races to see who can jump in with a response first, leaving true understanding in the dust. Fascinating studies from the University of Minnesota reveal that the average person holds onto only about 25% of what they actually hear. What does that tell us? It underscores how rare and precious genuine listening truly is. Listening without the pull of distractions, without the filter of judgment, without the itch to interrupt or steer the narrative. Building on the rarity of true listening in our distraction-filled world, where most people only grasp a quarter of what's said, let's explore how this simple act can transform connections into something profoundly magnetic. Rehearsing your reply while someone speaks? That's all too common, making genuine, undivided attention shockingly scarce, and as we know, scarcity only heightens value, like a rare gem sparkling in a sea of ordinary stones. When you lock eyes with someone and declare, "I'm listening," you're doing far more than acknowledging their words, you're broadcasting your full presence. Essentially whispering, "In this moment, you are what matters most, you have my undivided focus." Psychologists frame this as quenching the deep-seated human thirst for belonging. That innate drive to feel truly noticed and significant in a crowded existence. And the brain? It lights up in response. Neuroimaging studies show that being listened to deeply ignites the same reward pathways as unwrapping a thoughtful gift, flooding us with a sense of warmth and validation. The Stoics grasped this power centuries before science caught up. Zeno of Citium, the very founder of Stoicism, put it memorably, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." To them, silence wasn't a sign of frailty but a mark of true mastery over oneself. Seneca echoed this, noting that the wise are deliberate in speech yet swift to hear. For listening demands control, reining in that impulsive urge to overpower or steer the conversation. In the dance of attraction, the impact of listening amplifies even further. Consider this. Sure, a striking appearance might snag that first glance. But what keeps the flame alive? It's the profound sense of safety, of being fully understood, and the freedom to bear your thoughts without fear. By embodying, listen, you craft that sanctuary, a space where walls come down, people unwind, they reveal more of themselves. And soon, they link your company to that sweet relief and raw authenticity, like finding a quiet harbor after navigating stormy seas. Relief? It's utterly addictive. Authenticity? Purely magnetic. That's why, listen, transcends a mere skill. It's a way of being. A deliberate step beyond your own ego into another's world. It radiates the discipline, humility, and inner strength that the Stoics held in highest regard. In an era where voices clamor endlessly for attention, the one who pauses to truly hear, they become the unforgettable anchor amid the chaos. Before we move forward, if this exploration of these 4 words is illuminating the subtle art of connection for you, why not share this video with a friend who might find it transformative? And if you're inspired to back more of this reflective content, a quick tap on the thanks button below goes a long way. Your generosity truly fuels what we do. Now, hold on tight, because we're circling back to that promise from the start, the effortless phrase that swaps out, "Hi. How are you?" and injects fresh vitality into your chats. Let's revisit our opening point. Most dialogues kick off with that same rote script. "Hi. How are you?" It's courteous, no doubt, but does it ever ignite a real spark? Rarely does it etch you in memory or pave the way to meaningful depths. But now, armed with insight, you see there's a superior path. Here at the video's close. As pledged, is your alternative. Ditch, "Hi, how are you?" and opt for, "Tell me something good." It's vibrant, it's unexpectedly inviting, and it instantly pivots the vibe of any interaction. No more autopilot replies, people stop, reflect, and offer up something genuine. A sliver of their world that's worth sharing. That's the essence of swapping routine for real presence. And with the door ajar, weave in those 4 words we've unpacked. Understand, sense, right, listen. These aren't clever ploys, they're enduring instruments. Blending Stoic insight with contemporary psychology to remind us that true influence flows not from verbosity, but from words that truly count. If this has sparked fresh perspectives for you, drop a comment below. I'm curious. Which of these words hit home the hardest? And if you're not already part of the family, subscribe to Mental Dose today and hop into our community as we delve deeper into the wisdom that sharpens our lives. Bonds and growth. After all, attraction isn't a pursuit, it's an awakening. And that awakening? It sparks with the perfect words, timed just right. If you've found value in these timeless tools, understand, sense, right, and listen, why not put them into action today? Start weaving them into your conversations and watch how your connections deepen. Your presence grows stronger, and your life becomes richer with genuine bonds. Remember, the Stoic path isn't about grand gestures, it's about those small, intentional shifts that lead to profound change. If this video has sparked something in you, hit that subscribe button right now to join the Rise of the Stoic community, where we dive deeper into ancient wisdom for modern living. Every single week, don't forget to like this video if it resonated, drop a comment sharing which word you'll try first, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Your engagement fuels this journey, and together, we're rising stronger. Thanks for watching, fellow Stoics. Stay resilient, stay present, and until next time, keep awakening your inner strength. See you in the next video.